What's good, y'all? Y'all want me to do some history shit, so we doing the deadly divide in North London.
Has often been credited.
It's still the same nigga, right? The same nigga from the last video out there with the gang shit, right? If this nigga buys the shit, the deadly divide in North London, three times three for Skengfield. I ain't no niggas beef.
Credited to have the best UK drill scene and rappers, as some of the most influential rappers hail from North London, including Suspect, SJ, Heady One, and OFB as a whole. And whilst a lot of people North London, now North London has often been credited to have the best UK drill scene and rappers, as some of the most influential rappers hail from North London, including Suspect, SJ, Heady One, and OFB as a whole. And whilst a lot of people stereotype North London as a rich and wealthy side of London, what a lot of people are unaware of is the ongoing war between two street gangs that control areas within the north side of London, these being 3x3 or N9 and Skengfield or AP. Now, these two gangs have had a long-standing rivalry, with both of the gangs dating back to the early 1990s. However, for simplicity's sake, I'll be discussing the younger generation mostly throughout this video. However, I will still be highlighting the main deaths between both gangs. Now, N9 is a large street gang based within Edmonton. The gang have gone by many different names throughout the last 2 decades. During the late 1990s, they would be referred to as the Edmonton Mandem. However, around 2003, the younger generation would start going by Shankstars. This younger generation would be based around Bounces Road and Lower Edmonton, which is why we often hear about Bounces Road in recent 3x3 songs. Around 2006, Shankstars hear ours. This younger generation, around 2003, the younger generation.
People usually be like, the South is bad, right? Yeah, that's weird. They be like, the South is bad. Now we talking about West, North, and shit.
Generation would start going by Shankstars. This younger generation would be based around Bounces Road and Lower Edmonton, which is why we often hear about Bounces Road in recent 3x3 songs. Around 2006, Shankstars would start to go by DA, or Dem Africans. However, these were two completely separate gangs within the area, with them not being a younger generation to Shanks.
Yo, bro, do y'all feel like it's real spill? Like, I feel like, I don't even know, like, it's made up type shit. I don't believe what niggas saying, man. But honestly, yeah, we're only like a minute into the vid, yeah? So, bear with me, we still got more to go.
However, around 2015, different sets under the Edmonton N9 name would emerge. This would include 3x3, Bounces Road, 3x3, AFG, or All Fuckeries Gang.
There's levels? There's different...
09B and 900. These sets are allied under the N9 gang. However, in recent years we have seen disputes between the gang, with E1 from 3x3 starting to beef other 3x3 members and form a new set.
E1's the goat, man. If you don't know, I'm telling y'all niggas now. Let's see. Hold on, let me get comfortable, nigga. But honestly, yeah. Tell me if you like this setup, man. X-Rack in the building, man. Bring y'all niggas. I could even get close and personal with y'all. I don't know if you like it, but honestly, I don't know. X-Rack in the building. If you got more, drop more suggestions in the comment or what you want me to react to, man. That's it. That's really it. X-Rack in the building. I'm pretty sure I've said that, but back to the video.
With E1 from 3x3 starting to beef other 3x3 members and form a new set named ALG. However, I'll discuss starting to beef other 3x3 members and
like, look at the lineup. Like, honestly, what other nigga you know got this lineup? Hold on, which one y'all taking? I'm gonna hold you. I'm not taking it right here. That's a no. And that's a no, probably from the South. None of them, honestly. None. You feel me? None. But if you telling me like one night, not even that one, not even none of them, you feel me? Cause you feel me, niggas is married.
A new set named ALG. However, I'll discuss that later in the video. Popular members from N9 and 3x3 include DS, E1, Tion Wayne, and A1 from the 9. Now, we can't talk about 3x3 without talking about their ops. Now, GMG, or Get Money Gang, is a large street gang based around the EN3 postcode within Enfield. The older generation go by GMG. However, the current generation, Tion Wayne,
oh, these are the affiliates. I thought this nigga DS had his own shit, but...
and A1 from the 9. Now, we can't talk about 3x3 without talking about their ops. Now, GMG, or Get Money Gang, is a large street gang based around the EN3 postcode within Enfield. The older generation go by GMG. However, the current generation refer to themselves as AP, or Albany Park and Skengfield, with both of these names being an offshoot gang from the older GMG gang. However, for simplicity's sake, I'll refer to them as Skengfield. Skengfield's most popular members are Django, Skiz, and Pokey, and a lot lot of
None
their
of them
members
are.
are predominantly Somali. The gang is allied with NPK, TPL, DC8, and Hornsey, with their main rivalries being with Edmonton and Wood Green. Now, both of these sets would be
Was he? I ain't know these were two different spots. But
cool with each other up until 2009, when youngers from Edmonton would often ride around Enfield robbing Enfield youngers, with the beef slowly escalating when the Enfield members would look for retaliation. This in turn would result in stabbings and shootings playing out between the gangs. An incident of this would be when a GMG member named Impact would be stabbed over 12 times by N9 members. However, what followed this event would result in the beef becoming a war. Negus McLean was a 15-year-old member from the Dem Africans gang.
bro, at what age do these niggas hop on road, bro? Honestly, yeah. Like, I really like.
Within Edmonton. He was also nicknamed Young Chop. On the 10th of April 2011, Negus would go out for a bike ride with his little brother within Edmonton. However, what Negus was unaware of was that 7 GMG members would pedal bike from Enfield to Edmonton in search of any ops. The members
7, bro. 7
would reach Edmonton and spot Negus, who was standing with his friends and little brother at this point. Both of the groups would lock up.
Is that where we're supposed to focus?
Eyes with each other, with Negus's friends starting to frantically ride away, whilst Negus, who was still with his brother, wouldn't have much luck. Negus would tell his little brother to run, whilst he tried defending himself from the group. However, sadly, Negus would be knocked to the ground and stabbed multiple times. One of the 7 members would drive his knife down into Negus's chest so hard that the impact resulted in the blade snapping. The members would flee, leaving Negus to bleed out. Police and emergency services would be called to the scene. Ambulances would arrive moments later and transport Negus to the Royal London Hospital in Whitechapel. However, sadly, he would be pronounced dead hours later. A murder investigation would be launched following this, with 4 of the 7 GMG members being arrested and sentenced. Rest in peace, Negus. Now, following the death of Negus, incidents between Dem Africans and
Like, what's even the point? I mean, you know, when niggas have ops, you feel me, opposition to see, yeah, they on beefing, yeah, you feel me? But like, what's the point? Like, it makes no sense, honest. You telling me, yeah, 7, right?
GMG would be escalated, with stabbings and shootings being a normal occurrence. Negus has had a serious impact on the modern generation of 3x3, with a 16-year-old member of 3x3 named DS even vandalizing an Enfield sign, spray painting the words "RIP Negus," which is crazy. Even vandalizing an Enfield sign, spray painting the words "RIP Negus," which is crazy because if you think about it, DS was only 5 years old when Negus died. Anyways, the beef would continue up until 2013, when the next person would be killed as a result of the beef, with this person even being mentioned and dissed today in new 3x3 songs. On the 1st of April 2013, Chicken and his brother Shadow would plan to ride onto N9
Oh, so that's where that reference comes from.
territory. They would ride out onto Bounce's Road. Chicken and Shadow would spot a Wood Green member named Nat Nice and would drive up to him. Nat Nice would see Chicken and start to run. He would make it away, and moments later Nat Nice would return with a shotgun. An argument would ensue following this. However, it would end with Nat Nice reaching for the shotgun and aiming at Chicken. Nat Nice would shoot once with Chicken being hit in the chest. Chicken would start to run away. However, Nat Nice would run after him and shoot him again.
Nigga got vids?
Nice and the other members would flee following this, with witnesses claiming they witnessed a man on the ground and a woman pumping his chest trying to resuscitate him. However, despite her best attempts, Chicken would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene. With police launching a murder investigation following this, Nat Nice would be arrested 2 days after this incident, with him being seen on CCTV before the murder, placing a bag down and retrieving a shotgun from it. It was also revealed in court that a member of Chicken's group would run towards Nat Nice and attempt to shoot. However, the gun would jam. Nat Nice would be given a life sentence, and also 10 years for possessing a sawn-off shotgun. Rest in peace, Chicken. Following the death of Chicken, Shadow, who was his brother, would move to Leicester. He would continue to trap in Leicester, with him allegedly catching ops there. However, in September 2013, Shadow would stab a football coach named Antoine to death in a city street. Shadow would be arrested for this murder. He would later...
Like, what the... I don't know. I don't know how you niggas do it. Like, say you hear it, like, it makes no sense.
Be given life in prison. It's even alleged that the ops he had in Leicester burned down a house that was only 2 homes away from his house, resulting in 4 innocent people being killed. Rest in peace. It would be around 2015 and 2016 that we would see the first instances of N9 gaining success in the drill scene, with young rapper Tion Wayne starting to gain some success. Tion Wayne would drop a song titled Still Me in the summer months of 2014, and later in 2015 dropping a song titled Can't Go Broke, which would gain loads of attention. and currently sits on 2.6 million views, which is very impressive. However, it would be at the start of 2016 that we would see the first instances of A1 from the 9 making music, with him dropping the song Op on the 28th of January 2016.
Did he say it? Tell me.
16. With him only being 15 at the time, he had loads of potential from young. However, due to the fact he was born in Germany, we wouldn't see much from him, as when he was 19 he got deported back to Germany, where he would live for a few years. It would be in October 2016 that the next person involved in the beef would die. Now, Chaos was a well-respected member of AP, who was known to make a lot of money with his brother Ninja. He was also known to be active, with it being alleged him and Ninja were actually present at the murder of Negus 5 years
So honestly, right, I don't want to be that guy, but who's winning? I don't know.
Prior. Anyways, in 2015, Chaos would be arrested and charged with possession of firearms. As he was caught with pistols, shotguns, and SMGs, Chaos would start to run the wing he was on, with him becoming well known to sell
that song in the background. I'm trying to figure out which
drugs in jail. On the 18th of October 2016, Chaos would be approached by another gang member named Basana Kimbembe. An argument would ensue between the members, with Chaos saying, "If you want war, I'll give you war." Moments later, Basana would retrieve a kitchen knife he had on him. He would stab Chaos multiple times. However, the attack wouldn't end there, with Basana then throwing Chaos off the 5th floor of the wing, being around 40 feet. You may have heard about Chaos, as 3x3 rappers like DSZT and E1 love to talk about this incident on tracks. It would be around the start of 2017 that one of the most infamous incidents would occur within UK drill as a whole.
9.
Fam, I am not Edmund.
Are you sure, fam?
You can film this.
Cause if you're Edmund, I'm gonna smack your face. Mom, dad. On no bro thing, like I'm gonna smack your face.
Bro.
Don't lie to me, fam.
You've heard this numerous of times.
E1 would be catching the train in Enfield. When he would get caught lacking by Enfield members, he would be forced to deny his involvement on camera, with him having to say, "I am not Edmonton." This incident was recorded and uploaded to social.
But yeah, honestly, yeah, I've seen that, and it hurt me. I was depressed for like 2 weeks. Honestly, you feel me? I'm still recovering from that. Seeing that video just brought back memories, man. Honestly, it hurt.
Media shortly after, and in recent years has gained a massive amount of attention due to E1's success in the drill scene. In 2021, he would rap about this on a song titled Life Story, where he would rap,
All 17 started slagging in ends. Them times there, my work involved with the full juice for sat on the fence.
017 started slinging ends in time that men's was it. Right now, but you start. I saw. Okay.
During 2017, A1 from the 9 would get arrested as he was caught with a knife, and when he was released, he would be deported to Germany. But it would also be around 2017 and 18 that the name 3x3 was becoming more known in the underground scene. A member of Skengfield named Skengs would also be frequently posting on Instagram. His posts mainly consisted of him smoking his dead ops and dissing people on live.
Niggas. Suit Alex. Like and share the thing mellow to the dome.
However, no one was expecting what was going to happen to Skengs in the following months. In December 2017,
what did I say? I think it said Skank or something.
Would be trapping out of a house. He knew the people who owned the house, as they were both drug addicts named Gary Hopkins and Stacey Doherty. Skengs would have an argument with the drug addicts shortly before Christmas in 2017. This argument would prove to be deadly, as hours later, while Skengs was sleeping on a couch, Gary Hopkins would use a claw hammer and bludgeon Skengs with it. He would then stab Skengs over 10 times with a knife. Skengs would die in the house. Skengs had around 400 pounds on him, which the drug addicts then stole. The drug addicts then hid Skengs in their attic. Skengs would be reported missing by his family shortly after the murder had taken place. However, it would take 8 months for anyone to get closure on what happened to Skengs. It would be around August 2018 that Gary Hopkins would begin to brag about killing Skengs to friends. He would even show his friends the body in the attic, and it would be on the 25th of August that one of Gary's friends would go to the police and report the incident. Police would arrive on the scene, arresting Gary and Stacey. Gary would be charged and found guilty of murder, with him receiving life with a minimum of 22 years, whilst Stacey would only be sentenced to
Bro. No comment. Like, right, men's trying to. Yeah, bro.
27 months, as she was charged with perverting the course of justice, which meant she destroyed evidence. Rest in peace, Skengs. During 2018, a member of Skengfield would begin to rap, this being prominent member Django, who was often mocked in new 3x3 songs for allegedly not putting enough work in the streets. Anyways, in July 2018, Django would drop a song titled Skengfield Living, which currently sits on over 150,000 views. This song would be taken well by drill fans, with everyone asking Django to drop more, and only a few weeks later, later, he would release an audio titled Ride on Dem on mixtape Madness. This song wouldn't do well, however it was still hard, with it only gaining 17,000 views. During 2018, the name 3x3 would become a lot more prevalent. It would be around this time that the set AFG would be created, which we hear a lot of 3x3 members flag. AFG stood for All Gang, which is often repped by youngers. E1 would also start repping the 9 around this time, as he would get involved around 2017 and 18, but would start dropping music in 2019. 2019 would roll around, with the endless beef continuing to play out. The beef would get heated during 2019, with both sides sending shots for each other in the drill scene. Prominent members around this time include ZT, E1, and M-Splash, who is currently in prison for 2 life sentences after stabbing Poppy from NPK and also killing a civilian. Rest in peace. In May 2019, E1 and ZT would link up and drop a rude song titled Just the Beginning. This song would be a straight diss to any ops, with E1 even dropping a put in a spliff verse, where he would name his dead ops, and then follow it up with got put in a spliff. Fans would start to notice E1 and ZT as they were seriously hard on tracks. Around 4 months later, E1 would drop the iconic song Out Till Late, featuring M-Splash. This song took shots at Band OK, with E1 rapping the iconic line,
This bad B love talking my name, she reminds me of
Band
Kate.
However, in 2020, sadly another person would fall victim to the streets. On the 19th
Bro, this thing only talks about the murders and shit. Like, nigga, what about the accomplishment and shit? You feel me? Men's charted before. Like, where's that at?
of March 2020, the boss of GMG named Ninja, who was actually Chaos's brother, would be standing in a Bagel Brothers ordering food. His location would be given to an SG2 member named Young TJ, who had apparently grown jealous of Ninja. Due to Ninja being very wealthy in the streets, Ninja was even alleged to be a millionaire. Anyways, Young TJ would pull up and start letting off shots towards the Bagel Brothers. Ninja, along with 3 others, would start running, with Ninja attempting to jump a wall in order to escape. However, Young TJ would shoot Ninja multiple times in the head, with Young TJ fleeing following the incident. Police and ambulances would arrive shortly after the incident. Ninja would be rushed to the hospital. However, he would
Bro, he be saying those shits in the lyrics. I don't even know, like, bro. Knowing the backstory, bro, it's different. Like, what?
sadly be pronounced dead hours later. A murder investigation would be launched following this, with
That
young
nigga better be
TJ
locked
being
up, bro.
arrested shortly after the incident. Young TJ would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 27 years, and within the space of 4 years, both brothers Ninja and Chaos would have lost their lives to the streets. Rest in peace. Following this incident, 3x3 would start to heavily mock the incident, with E1 even posting on Snapchat, showing the court documents and mocking Ninja.
Shortly after this time, a black male entered the shop and opened fire at a group. Muhammad and his 3 associates ran out the back of the shop and followed by the suspect. As the group were fleeing,
Ninja is also mocked heavily in
Wait,
recent
what's the cap?
Ninja is also mocked heavily in recent 3x3 songs. During 2020, a 13-year-old would start repping 3x3, this being DS, who was seen in loads of music videos, and he would stand out due to him being tiny and young at the time. A lot of people would start suggesting that E1 had groomed DS into the gang, as they were pictured together loads on social media, suggesting
Yo, bro, where do these models be from? Like where he get them from? Like, honest. It's decent, you know, you feel me? Like, no Ruby Rose or something, but something to get you through the night.
E1 had groomed DS into the gang, as they were pictured together loads on social media. Anyways, what was known was that in 2020, a song was published to Spotify titled Bow. This featured a very young DS rapping on a drill beat that was barely mixed. DS would appear in a few music videos in 2020, and in June 2020, E1 would drop a song titled Enfield or Tottenham, where he would diss both areas, and even had DS drawing a map of them in the music video. The cover art to this song was also very disrespectful, as it showed the Bagel Brothers shop where Ninja was killed.
Yo, y'all want me to react to this shit, right? I'm still postponing it. I don't know if y'all want me to react to it. Like, honest, like, cause I don't see no video. It's just but I could do the audio, but still, let me know if y'all niggas want me to react to it. Honestly, yeah. I'll just hop on, and ramble on with y'all niggas, man. That's it. E1 the GOAT, bro.
Surrounded by lava. It would be around 2020 and 21 that Tion Wayne would be seriously blowing up, with him dropping songs that instantly gained hundreds of millions of views. And in 2021, he would link up and drop a remix to his previously successful song Body with Russ Millions. This remix featured ZT and E1, which was crazy as it currently sits on 134 million views. Remix featured ZT and E1, which was crazy as it currently sits on 134.
I might have to react to this, homie.
4 million views after it blew up on TikTok in 2021. In the music video, you can even see DS repping the green flag. During 2021, DS would also drop his first official song, titled Latex Gloves. This song was heavily censored, with him dissing all of his dead ops, which was bold considering he was only 14. Skengfield would also be dropping songs around 2020 and 2021 with rappers like Skiz, Django, and Pokey starting to put on for the group. Their songs would gain hundreds of thousands of views, however they were not consistent enough, with them only dropping a few songs in 2021 and 2022, and while Skengfield would be building up,
the ironic, one of the niggas' songs is consistent, bro, and then
times 3 would pretty much be on top of UK Drill after the Body remix dropped, with loads of new eyes on the 3x3 collective. However, as 2021 was ending, DS's previous disses would catch up to him, and he would be stabbed by Skengfield members. Rumors were flying all around the internet, with people claiming he was put on life support, and others saying he was completely fine. However, months after the incident, E1 would rap on a plugged-in stating DS wasn't put on life support, stating DS stabbed 2 of the members on the scene and put a member named MB on life support.
Asked about what a cat would have stressed we knew put him to rest. He ran so far out running from cats how high he ran. Like, oh man.
It would be in 2022 that we would see the split of 3x3, with internal disputes separating the gang and causing a divide in people that were once friends. Around July 2022, E1 would be kidnapped by N9 Olders for allegedly trying to line Tion Wayne, M24, and Burner at a video shoot. He was recorded being slapped and was forced to say sorry to them. This video would then
like, why is this even mentioned, bro? Like, scared.
Circulate the internet, with it gaining a massive amount of attention and going viral. Not long after this, retaliation would be sparked, and following the incident, an N9 member named D1 would be stabbed in the neck by 3x3 members. However, D1 wouldn't be the only one, with an 09B member named Big Terry also being stabbed in retaliation. Following the kidnapping incident, E1 would be de-recruited from AFG, which was different to 3x3. Group chat messages would be leaked, showing that AFG members like Rowdy, DS, and ZT were dissing E1. E1 would splinter off and create a new set called ALG, which stands for Airlift Gang. However, he still does rep 3x3, and some of the members are still cool with each other. Members of ALG include Busy, Mully, and E1. This is why nowadays we see #ALG and #BRoad in titles of songs from the groups. E1 would release a track titled Mockingbird, which was completely different to what he had ever made before, with the song sampling Eminem's popular song Mockingbird. This song would bang views, with it currently sitting on 28 million streams. This song would even chart. E1 would celebrate this achievement on his Snapchat. E1 noticed that the sampling was blowing, and in December 2022, he released Snakes and Ladders. This song would have sly disses to N9 and references to the incident. This song would also be another win for E1, with it currently sitting on 11 million views, and in March 2023...
I told y'all niggas who the GOAT is. You feel me? Who's your GOAT though? Like, don't come in here tell me no Dave, no, nigga, we don't want to...
He would drop his album Snakes and Ladders, which was heavily anticipated. It had features from Busy, Trap SG, and Trinell, and would even...
Yo, that Airlift song? Airlift Gang? 016, oh man.
Feature a song titled I'm Sincerely Sorry, which was a direct response to the kidnapping incident. E1 wouldn't really drop following this album, until recently when he dropped a song titled Jail Call, where he references helping M/in jail. DS would also drop 3 previews on his Instagram on the 7th of April 2024. These previews sound hard, and he definitely has potential for his age, only being 16, and I hope he can use his talent to escape the streets. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure that you stay away from the road life, as if this
I thought he about to say leave a like, nigga. I ain't gonna do that shit. But honestly, yeah. Oh, this wraps it up, man. X-Rec in the building. That's it. I usually do like music shit, but I wanted to, you know, learn about the history and shit. But honestly, yeah, you know, if we learn anything from this video, it's just like 3x3 on top, and then E1 just the king. No, not the king, but honestly, I'm glazing him heavy right now, but the GOAT, honest. But that's it, man. It's your bro X1 in the building. If you want to see more of these type of videos, let me know, man. Anything you want me to check out, leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like. I don't know. do all that shit YouTubers be telling y'all niggas to do. Subscribe though, you feel me? Road to 300. If you want to be part of it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Till next time, man. X-Rack in the building. I'm out of here. Deuces, Manus. Love your niggas, man. Till next time, keep your on the ice.